Hey there, it's Angela, and I'm so glad you found your way here to architecting. Creative careers can be stressful, and it's hard to be vulnerable, but this is your landing pad for raw honesty. I'll help you get clarity, reconnect with your passion, and have the career of your dreams. If you're ready to make a difference, have an impact, and say bye-bye to burnout, stick with me, and let's get architecting. Hey Bright Lights, it's Angela, and I'm coming to you from Denver on the last day of the Summer Leadership Summit, which is an annual, very intimate gathering of some of the top minds in healthcare architecture. I've been coming to this for years, and one of the things that I really love about this particular conference is the fact that I'm truly with my peers here. These are the people that are shaping the industry, that are constantly questioning the norms, that are blazing new trails, that are writing codes, that are winning design awards. And when you are in the energy of people who match where you are as well as where you aspire to be, it really can be a game changer for your career. And one of the most treasured things that happens during this conference is my friend Jill rounds up a group of women healthcare architects and we go out to dinner. And while we were chatting last night, she said, you know what? I should write a book. And all of us could contribute a chapter. And everyone was like, yeah, let's do this. I just have a feeling that we probably will do this, and it will probably be an incredibly useful book that will really be a guidepost for a lot of women in our profession. And that couldn't have happened if we hadn't all been at dinner. It also couldn't have happened if there were not a group of women around the table to whom the idea of writing a book is not scary, is not crazy, is not something that they don't dare to dream about. In fact, many of us have written a book or two or contributed a chapter. This is the importance of what is often called the genius group. When we have a group of people that include at least some members who are further along in their career. And I don't mean more experienced, I mean more accomplished than you are. And you regularly get together and you talk because you are in that different energy. You are just naturally going to come up with ideas, and not everything is going to be some project that the group does together, but just giving an update on your life. You may mention something that you are struggling with, and someone else may say, oh, you know what? Did you know about this group, or did you read this book, or have you listened to this TED Talk? And it's exactly what you needed, because you're around people who are consuming interesting and uplifting and educational information all the time. Or you may say that you want to try something and they can give you some ideas. Maybe they've done it before and give you some referrals. They may hear about something you're trying to do, or maybe you want to change jobs or something like that and give you a name to call. It is such a powerful experience, just enjoying being with people you like being around and having what feels like casual conversation. You can walk away with not only so much valuable information, but you can walk away feeling uplifted, really being in the energy that anything is possible, that if you're struggling, there's an opportunity for growth. If you're looking for a new direction, here's some ideas or resources for you. That is the key to continuing to lean into your growth edge so that you can reach your full potential and reach it in that stressless success way I always talk about, because A lot of us pinch off our success because we think, I work too hard already. I can't take on anymore. And if to be successful meant I had to work even harder, I don't want it. You may not consciously be thinking that, but most likely, if you really sit with that thought for a moment, you'll go, oh my gosh, I do think that. The number one thing I hear from people is I'm overwhelmed, stressed out, burned out. So they may be frustrated in their career. They may feel blocked in certain ways, but mostly they just feel that they're doing too much. And as I think you might have caught in my story about meeting with my friends, what we were talking about was actually doing more. Doing the extracurricular stuff, not just doing our job or working on the projects that we've been assigned to, but saying yes to even more. These women are on boards and have led committees and initiatives. They are people who raise their hand and say yes. That is who I was surrounded with at this conference. People who never say, I'm too busy. They say, how can I? What can I do to help? How can I make a difference? When you are around people who think that way, you don't feel overwhelmed either because you see it's possible. We reach for the highest branch we can see. So when you are surrounded by people who are in that worker bee energy where they toil at their job and they're maybe complaining a lot, everything just feels like an imposition and a struggle, you can pick up and mirror that energy as well and start to feel that, yeah, it's just a slog to get through the day. You focus on the negative things like the fact that the client was risk adverse or they had agreed to a really exciting, innovative idea, then changed their mind, or that you didn't feel seen or heard in a meeting. And it's okay to have those moments. But the difference between people who make a difference and people who don't is that you don't stay there. You don't let that define you. Instead, you get curious about how to move past it. Moving past it can look like walking away, which sometimes is the right thing to do. Maybe this isn't a good client to work with. Maybe this isn't a good firm to be working for. It's not a good match for you. But more often than not, it's not about walking away. It's about changing your perspective because this is an inside job. You can change jobs all day, and I know people who have done that. They stay 2 or 3 years somewhere, and then they move on. Sometimes moving on means they get a promotion or a better opportunity. But they don't stay at that place either. Once the halo effect of being at a new firm has worn off, once they've really settled in, they only see the negative in the people they're working with or the project's limitations or whatever. And they feel restless and malcontent all over again. If you've experienced that yourself, you will know that moving on isn't going to change anything because wherever you go, there you are. This is your wake-up call to do some inner work, to get a lot more clarity about what you want, to delegate more things and free up your time for the things that are a priority for you, to stop letting the busyness be the blockade, the reason you don't say yes and you don't take chances, and most importantly, to go out and seek a group of colleagues and friends who are going to keep you in uplifted energy. We all encounter frustrations and challenges and setbacks every day. But when you are in a different energy, when you're looking for opportunities, not problems, you see your success as inevitable. You don't see a setback as the clue that you should stop what you're doing. If that's how you're feeling when you encounter a setback, when it feels like, oh, this is a sign from the universe. I clearly reached too far. I should not have done that. I want you to look at what you're really afraid of, because fear is at the root of why you are interpreting a setback the way you are. Probably didn't feel really good about doing this new thing, taking this chance, getting out of your comfort zone in the first place. So your body always wants to keep you safe. That's a physiological structure of us as human beings. If we feel fear, we are looking then for ways to get out of danger. That's really easy to see if you were in physical danger, but when you are in, we'll call it career jeopardy, it's a little harder to see that it's a fear response. But it doesn't mean that that's not what's going on. And so what you're then doing subconsciously is looking for ways to exit the situation. You are, one, going to have a lot more negative bias to everything that's part of that experience because you're looking to find the reason it's wrong. And the minute you have the first setback, you are going to view that as your cue to exit. Now let's flip that around. Let's say that you feel energized and confident about this experience, that you're not worried about whether you know enough because you're confident that you can get the resources you need when you need them. You're willing to ask for help. You're willing to ask questions. You're willing to fail forward. Now you're not looking for the things that are a danger to you. You are looking for the resources, the person who you could ask a question to, the place you could find what you need in terms of training or information, the people you could team up with. You're looking for better ways to solve the problem that you're excited to share. And when you encounter maybe that exact same setback as the person who was in fear mode, you see it as a learning experience. You may say, wow, that was a really tough meeting. Clearly, the client is struggling with change management with their people, and everybody is very much stuck in what they're doing today, which is a lot of coping in bad, outdated space. We can help them think differently about what's possible. But the tools we brought to this meeting weren't doing that because they weren't as organizationally ready for this as we might have thought they would be. What other tools do we have so that we can help them to unlock the true path to innovation? So we're not forcing the same idea down their throat, but we are thinking differently about how to engage so that we can get a meeting that is less about simply recreating what we already have, but making it newer and bigger, and instead really coming up with a solution that's going to improve things for everyone. I hope this helps you see how not only coming at things with a positive mindset, but claiming what you want and need out of a situation can really be the game changer. Most importantly, I want you to see that going it alone, thinking that you can just figure it out, is taking the longest, hardest possible path you could to achieve your dreams. What you really need to focus on is finding the resource of that genius group, seeking people who are leveled up from where you are, spending time with them, getting to know them, forming a real relationship with them so that you start to unlock what's inside of you that is a match for where they are in their career. And it starts by being willing to, yes, not be too busy, to raise your hand, to be willing to put yourself out there, to build those professional networks that will ultimately turn into some really powerful friendships. I know I am going home today from this conference feeling very optimistic and very energized about where I am. I feel like I've strengthened a lot of friendships that I already had, and that's going to unlock more opportunities in the future. I found more guests for our Architects as Healers, Buildings as Medicine Clubhouse program that I do with my friend Megan. A lot of great things come when you're willing to put yourself in situations that raise your energy and show you what's possible. Take care, everyone. Make sure that you think about how you can expand your network and challenge yourself over the next week. Feel free to share those with me. And don't forget to like, rate, and review the podcast. It helps more people to find the architecting community. And that's what we are all about, is being a community that I hope will be part of your genius group too. All right, take care. Thanks for listening. If you want even more content, head on over to architectingpodcast.com and subscribe to my newsletter and get some great free downloads while you're there. Be sure to follow me on social media. On Instagram at Architecting Podcast, Facebook and LinkedIn pages are Architecting, and the YouTube channel Architecting Podcast. Stay inspired.